Hello and welcome. I'm going to show you how I got this nostalgic throwback soft wave hair. It's romantic, feminine, sleek, with body, volume, and a retro touch. Now, you're about to watch me do this the long way. There are quicker routes to achieve a similar look, and I will be sharing those methods in the future. But for now, let's get into this slow-cooked version. Okay, so I start this with wet hair. For a quick rundown, we're going to start with wet hair. We're going to blow dry upside down to counteract gravity. And then we're going to put them in curlers and let them dry in that pattern in curlers. Then we're going to take it out and then take some hot tools and reinforce what we had set, put them back in the same exact curler formation. We're going to tease, we're going to sculpt, and then we're going to seal what we did. And then I'm going to pluck a pretty little flower and add that to the mix too. Hopefully the rain didn't ruin the flowers. So my hair is still a little bit wet. It's not damp, but you can see that it still has some moisture in it. I'm taking a risk by doing this because I haven't tried this with this style, but I'm going to put a little teeny bit of the All Eyes on Me styling cream by Not Your Mother's on because I just did my hair yesterday in a similar type of style, and I'm using a small amount like that because I don't want it to be so heavy that the volume is taken out of it. But the reason that I'm doing this is because I found yesterday that there was some flyaways and the hair didn't look totally smooth. And so what this product does is you can use it with air drying or you can use it with a blow dryer, and it's meant to smooth out your hair. I'm putting it especially right here because we're going to do a wave and I just want that underside to lay really smooth. And then I'm going to give this a brush with a paddle brush to just make sure that it's evenly dispersed in there. So now we're going to put in some Garnier Fructis Curl Construct Creation Mousse. Sometimes I put it in per section too, as I'm rolling into the roller. And mainly when I do that, it's to keep the pieces all together because I have layers in my hair. Okay, now I'm gonna go in with a blow dry and we're gonna blow dry upside down, and that's just to counteract, like I said, gravity pulling it down. So we're setting it in the opposite direction. You know what? It's so bright right here. I actually start with completely wet hair. I mean, not wet, like sopping wet, but straight out of the shower hair, and then do this and get it down to about the kind of dryness that it was at the beginning. But I had taken a shower and did my makeup, so my hair dried down a little bit. So if you can start with wetter hair, I would suggest that. Okay, so this is what we got going after an upside down dry. And I was smoothing it out with a soft bristled brush. Sorry, I flashed it because it's looking a little unsightly. So now we get to play with my brand new Velcro roller set. So I bought this because my rollers are all in odds and ends. And so I got myself this off of TikTok Shop. And it comes with 6 different sets of rollers. They nest together, so they fit very nicely in this bag that it comes with, which is really cute, like a tweed classic bag. And then it comes with a pintail comb. And there are compartments in here for good storage. Additionally, it came with some alligator clips that are all the colors match and everything. For this style, we are going to use the middle 2. I like to set the bang first because to me the bang is most important. So I want to give it the longest setting time. I do it first and then I take it out last. I can see that that first product that we put in is helping with the issue that I noticed yesterday, which was that things were not looking neat down here. Okay, so this is the kind of section that I am taking for my bang. Sorry, you guys, it's kind of hard to do this on camera. I actually need like a mirror in front of me. We're looking like this, and we're gonna take the bigger roller, which is the second one down in that set. You know what? I'm gonna put a little bit of mousse on here, like I said, just to hold all of the strands together for when we put it on the curler. And because I have short bangs, you guys, I'm gonna start here and manually roll it around. And I want it to be straight like that. And then we get to use the cute little alligator clips, which I find that bobby pins hold a little bit more securely. Putting in a lot of pins in here because the bang is really important and I want to make sure that that doesn't budge and it doesn't move. So now I do the 2 front sections first. So from this part, pretty much, I'm going to go straight down. And it usually goes to about mid-ear. Yep. So you can also use that as a guideline if you want, but I find that you don't have to be super duper precise. Like, don't get all bent out of shape about that because it will all blend together and then brush out pretty fine. So again, I'm just going to put a little bit of mousse here And in these two sections, we're gonna also use the same size that we just used. So the second from the largest. And you'll see me get to pull this down now because I have shorter layers here, or I have longer layers here, excuse me. Oh, I found that going slow helps, you guys. I'm kind of a speedy person sometimes, and things can get sacrificed a little bit sometimes like that. And it turns out decent when I go fast, but this process benefits from slowing down though. Going back in with a clip, and these I also want to be really secure. I like to put one at the base in the back and try to attach it to my scalp so that there's one that's like anchoring it down to my head and then one that's keeping the hair that way. And if you have layers and things and you have to apply multiple clips to be able to secure it, then do that. I've noticed that the edges are important, and that's a part that at the end I'm like, oh, I didn't really think about that. So when you're putting in your product, just set it for yourself that way. Apply a little bit of that, and then again we will do the second to the last biggest, and again this is gonna go sideways on there. Gonna wrap that little tail and then just make sure that this all wraps on top of it. I'm gonna do it the same on this side so that it looks aesthetically pleasing for you on the other side. And then we're gonna do one down. So this is what we got going, and now this next part is really easy. We're gonna section in 3 sections and then use the next size down. I like a little flippy end on this, but then I want this to be rounded and this to flip. So I tried it like this, where I start this way and then I flip it this way, thinking that's probably would create that kind of shape. But actually what I found that I like doing better, that has a better result for me, is I just do them all under. And then at the very end, I will take a curling iron, curl the ends of it out, and then put it in a roller for a little bit. And that's the last step. I like how it looks better. I feel like I can see that bend down here when you do that, and I don't like that. For this part, I just grab it with my hand. So this looks about good for the first section. I'm gonna hit it with a little mousse like I've been doing. And we're going under for all of these. It is so weird, the perspective of view on here is... Maybe I should bring the monitor closer to me. Okay, so we have that one going, and then this I'm going to split into 2 equal parts. A little bit of this, and then go in with the same size. So you're only using 2 size rollers for this. So the rollers that I had before, they weren't Velcro, and so they could slip out a little bit easier. Just for safe measure, when I wrap, I'm going to put another one. So last one here. And rolling it under like the rest. I really like this thing that I bought. I like a lot of things that I bought on TikTok Shop. I was weary of it at first, but then I've pretty much liked everything that I've bought from there. Okay, so this side is done. So same exact thing on this side. We're doing 3 sections and then rolling them all under. So that is my one critique of these things, as I think that these alligator clips, I think that they're great for other applications other than the roller. Like I would use it to set bangs and do other things because it's lighter weight, which has its benefits, but bobby pins I have found are the most reliable in that regard. I will do a hair trim too to show you guys how I cut my layers. I could do a lot more layers actually, and it would be very voluminous, but I lost some hair, so I'm not doing as many short layers as a result. This feels about the same size. Okay, last one, you guys. So now with my extra clips that I have and bobby pins, I'm just gonna go in and check to see if any of them feel loose. And I want to just make sure that they're secure and they're all the way rolled up. I like to hit it with a little blow dry just to help the complete dry down process. When I tell you, this smells like cotton candy. Paul Mitchell Firm Style Super Clean Extra. Like, it smells so good, and it has a unique scent to me. I don't know, other scents can smell generic. There's just something distinct about this scent that I really like. Okay, now I'm gonna wrap this up with my beautiful scarf from my friend Curtis Watkins. He's an artist among many things, but he has his work printed on different items, and he sent me two beautiful scarves, and this is one of them. And I love using it to wrap my hair when my hair is setting. I think the rainbow looks really pretty in the front. Oh, look at that! I'm gonna let this one hang out. And then this little tail end, I will tie into this tie so it's not hanging in my face. And then I'm gonna go frolic outside in the sun. I think that'll help it dry, and I find that sun really energizes me. It inspires me and it energizes me, so I've been trying to like almost replace coffee with sun. Because I find that if I go out early and I get enough sunlight, I actually get really motivated and naturally want to come inside and start working. I just take a little elastic and just seal the little end right there. So I'm gonna time it so that you know how much time you need. It's 4:24 right now. I'm gonna see what time it is when we come back. Okay, I'm back. I hope that it's dry. Oh, what time is it? It's 5:43 now. Now again, we're gonna take this out. We're gonna curl it in the same exact thing that we did. Put it up again, and it'll be a shorter wait time for that. So we don't have to wait for it to dry. We're just waiting for it to cool and set. So they look good. The scarf kept it covered. I like to unwind these like this and then instead of pulling them straight out. That one was my favorite one so far. So what the heat will do is reinforce that same pattern a little bit more strong. But we have already set it and kind of given it the bones to take that shape and to have volume in that shape too. So if I'm taking this out and you're like, it's not looking that voluminous or curly, it's one part of the magic, one part of the process. Okay, these big side pieces. Side pieces. We're gonna get it to sit up like this later. And I'm gonna smooth it with a softer bristle brush. That product did definitely help to smooth the hair. Now you kind of sacrifice a little volume for it, but I think once we tease it, we'll be able to get that. I'm gonna leave this in, recurl all of this and put it back into rollers, and then take this out and do it at the end so that that exact section is what we'll be working with. I don't want it to get blended in the rest of the hair. You know, I know things are supposed to look nice and clean or whatever for tutorials, but the truth is, this has been through a lot because I've used it for many years. It's been very reliable. It's done exactly what I needed it to do. So I haven't really seen a reason to replace it. It's done its job for me for so long, and I'm just going to abandon it because it has some marks and signs of use from doing exactly what I needed it to do for me. So that's why I still use the same one. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing. And actually, if when you take it down, you want to just go ahead and do this step. So each roll you take out so that you have the exact same hair in there. I just use the clamp for this. You can roll it around the top too. I find that it doesn't necessarily matter that much for this because we're putting it in the rollers anyway. This is just to apply some heat to it so that it will take the shape of the roller. It's so unnecessary. Same exact thing that we did. So it's easy to remember. If you get it down the first time, you basically just have it down then. So I don't know if this is repetitive, if I've already said this. But basically what we did with the air drying and with the blow dry, letting it dry down and that, is to get it set in a particular shape and set the tone for volume. And then this will really lock in the shape and make it more defined and keep it able to be worn over a longer period of time to reinforce it with heat. So I notice sometimes people spray them down right away. I think that I want it to naturally cool down on its own. If you spray it with that, you're adding moisture and coolness to it before it's had the chance to cool down. So remember with these, we have 3 sections that just go under. That's how I get my layers in there sometimes, you guys, if they slip out. Last one on this side. Okay, so now that we have it like this, I'm gonna let it cool down on its own first, and then we're gonna spray it with some of this. Okay, I think that's enough time. Oh, we said we were gonna do, I didn't do the front part. I'm gonna give it a really thorough spray, and then I forgot the bangs. The bang is really important. We're gonna want it to be like that later. I'm gonna go in and tease it a little bit. And I'm going to also smooth it, because remember that was the issue, was that this underside was looking messy and I didn't like that. So now I just wrap it around like this because, again, like I said, I have bangs. My rollers just fell on the floor, so that's what it's looking like right now. And then we're gonna place this back in here. I started taking out and realized I wasn't running audio. So if they look a little bit messy, that's why. So I take it out symmetrically. So one on each side. And then what I do is I tease. And I used to tease really fast, like just do that. But I find that slowing down the pace a little bit helps. So I do a tease, and then I spray it at the root because we've sprayed it with hairspray, but it was in the roller. So sometimes you don't get access to that root area. So just spray it at that root to keep your tease in place. And then tease it a little bit more with the hairspray in it. And then I like to kind of smooth it out. Smooth out the teasing a little bit too, especially near the nape of your neck, because I noticed in pictures that sometimes it can collect right there and you can see the teasing. This is actually, I'm able to get this to flip out the way that I wanted this time. And so I might not have to reinforce that flipping out like I said I was going to at the end. But I might do it just to make it a little bit more crisp, depending on how it turns out. Does it have another clip on it? So tease, spritz, tease. You can see that the shape is more defined now from putting the feet in it. And we'll do a slow tease. Okay, top one's in the back. Oh no. I like to try to unwind it like that when I do it, so that it doesn't get too, the curl doesn't get too damaged or out of shape. I think I'm gonna separate out the little top area and do that layer on the top separate too. See how it lifts that? So this I'm splitting into two, not really into two equal parts, but taking a little piece off the top like that. So tease, spritz in there, spritz under that top layer. We'll go back in there and do that in 2 layers again. And since these are kind of getting in the way right now, why don't we just take these out too and start blending them all together. So I'm going to take the soft bristle, and you don't want to flatten it, but you want to make sure you don't get flyaways in those areas. So again, we're going to tease. Spritz. Root spritz. And give it another little slow tease. And then we'll have to go in with a soft bristle just to ease in all of the teasing that's done so that it looks smooth. I think I did it this time, you guys. I tested this once before and I'm like, you know what? It's not really a tutorial because I had to do a lot of rerouting and detours to get it to look good. It looks good. Here's a picture of it. It looks really good, and I actually found another style within that from using a different curler size. So I'll do that style too. This side. Okay, now we're gonna do the Bretman rock. I love Bretman. Where have it how you want it to be. So I don't just pull it to the side. You don't want to know what I was just doing. But I also lift it up. So it's like a diagonal up. And I like I like that shape. You know what? This, you have to know when the time is right. You're going to have to sense it for yourself when you feel like it's time to let go. And it's set. Okay, now this side, same thing. I like to move it up a little bit. Now we will smooth it out. This process takes a while, but we're going to take the bang down. Looks good so far. And again, we're doing the tease. See my bangs coming out? Sometimes I like the bangs out with it. You see what I'm saying? Like it looks like a Pam Anderson style. So let's see. We'll see. With this, I give it some spontaneity and flexibility with how the bang sits, which is sweet. Each time you do it, it might turn out a little bit different. Oh, bitch. While that hairspray is in there, I'm just going to sweep it with the brush to make it smooth. Maybe we'll do that on the top too. So I'm going to hold it to keep it up while it's drying. But I'm kind of using the hairspray as a gel in a sense to tame these flyaways down. And the brush will give it a very nice smooth top and bottom, top and underside. Now while it's doing this, I'm going to try to kind of get it in shape too that I like. All right. Now I blend this part in here because again I have layers, so some of that longer piece got caught into there. Now I really like this comb that I have. It has a soft bristle and this, and what I like about it is how thin this is, because then you can get in here more and smooth the top of it. I really like how this came out. What I like about these clips is that I like it for stuff like this. Because of how light it is, it allows you to keep the volume. It's not weighing it down. So I'm going to put that there while I do some more shaping and smoothing, so that we keep some of that lift. I'm not done yet, but for real, the Not Your Mother's All Eyes on Me styling cream, it helped with the style. It helped keep things smooth. You can still get volume with it. Just don't use too much, because I think if you use too much, it might weigh your hair down if you have my type of hair. I'm so brokenhearted right now, you guys. I used this hibiscus, I think that's what it's called, in my test run video, which I didn't know was a test run video. I thought it was going to be the tutorial. I'm just gonna shape as I tell you this. And I went to go cut some more. They're wilted. So they are no longer. So I have this instead, but it doesn't have that same impact. Ugh! I guess they don't bloom for very long, and then we've been having rain too. That's been weighing on it. And see, so I kind of like that the bang does this. And sometimes I'll like separate it into two. Have one curl in and one curl out. I think it turned out pretty nicely. All right, so this is the final look. I'm pretty happy with it. It's smooth, it has volume, it has body, and it has shape, but it's still touchable, it's soft, it moves. Thank you so much for watching this. I hope you learned something from it and you're able to take something away for your own beauty and glamour practice. And I will be back with plenty more.